Would you listen to your class as a program? Would you watch it on Netflix? Would you be interested for more than 5 minutes? Could you stay focused for an hour and a half? Hi, I'm Danny Hogger, and I've written A Broadcaster's Secrets to Teaching. After 12 years in broadcasting, I've really tried to create a classroom environment that is dynamic while still being genuine and authentic. I've tried to design a classroom environment that is fun, engaging, and is something I would want to be in as a student. There's so much more than just learning the standards that we can be doing on a daily basis, throwing in local history, learning about our communities, our families, bringing diversity into the classroom, looking at current events and bringing them in frame with what we are learning historically. There's so many ways in which your program could be better if you just improved on what you're already doing. You're working hard to benefit students, but are you thinking about your voice and how your program is entertaining or is instructive or is being received by your students? Know your audience. Take a look at my book, A Broadcaster's Secrets to Teaching, to find stories and reflections on how I turned a career in radio and TV into an engaging book to improve my classroom philosophy and become a more motivated educator. You can get my book on Amazon on Kindle for $7.99 or $1 less on ampeduplearning.com. The links are provided here and I hope you'll enjoy it. Also, I host a weekly show called Inspiring Teachers where we interview and explore the why of teaching each and every week. I'm Danny Hogger. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to reaching you with the messages that have helped me. Thanks for watching. Thank you for joining us. Before we get into the episode, I want to tell you about a friend who started up a teacher website, ampeduplearning.com. And if you're looking for a new and engaging way to get your students up and moving in the classroom, get out of the sit and get rut by teaching and checking out ampeduplearning.com. It's a 2-teacher owned and operated company in Texas. They're friends of the show. They're looking to gamify teaching with creative new activities for the classroom, from their FREC resources and escape rooms for social studies and science to speed squares and task cards for math and English. There's just tons of resources there. You can even find a couple Danny Hogger created resources there as well. And to help you out, use code HoggerHistory10 to save 10% on all items, and follow them on social media at Amped Up Learning for their monthly giveaways of Amazon gift cards, lessons, and apparel. With no further ado, let's get into the show today. Thanks for listening, liking, watching, and subscribing to Inspiring Teachers.
Welcome to Inspiring Teachers, a show bringing you classroom tips, motivation, and stories from successful educators. Join Tavis Beam and Danny Hogger as they explore the why of teaching.
And welcome to another exciting summer edition of Inspiring Teachers. Danny Hogger here, Tavis Beam, spending some time with his family, which is well-deserved. I drive that guy crazy with all the things that we're doing and recording. And today we have a real special show here. Katie Alvarez joins us for her first ever podcast interview. Katie, thanks for joining us.
I am happy to be here. Like you said, this is the first time I've done this, so new waters for me.
Oh, this is great. Katie brings a really thoughtful and considerate approach to teaching and instructional coaching. A former 4th grade teacher, Katie pioneers in blogging, sharing ideas online, and improving practices in the classroom. And before we get into that, just want to thank everyone. It's only been a couple of days, but A Broadcaster's Secrets to Teaching, my book about my background in radio and how it applies to creating a dynamic classroom environment. It's #1 on the new releases on Amazon within the category. I'm so happy. I wrote 15 chapters to sharpen the broadcaster within you to just enhance what you're already doing as a teacher. If you want to check that out, it's available at ampeduplearning.com, on Amazon Kindle, and on Teachers Pay Teachers. I'm just super thrilled that anyone at all has checked it out. And that's a big jolt of excitement for me. And Katie, I'm really into the things you've been posting, your blog deck, and all the things that you feature in your e-newsletter. Tell me about some of the things that you've been doing and how it's been working for you, because a lot of people really love what you do and what you write and what you create.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. What an intro. So the blog deck is just a new thing. I just posted that I was starting to blog through Google Slides, and that really took off. There was lots of interest. And so I thought, well, maybe there's a community here that we can start sharing with each other, and maybe bringing this idea to students and having students doing this. Maybe if we can do some troubleshooting as teachers, and then bring the idea into the classroom. So like you said, I am a 4th grade teacher. I taught 4th grade for 7 years, and this upcoming year I will be our district's K-12 instructional facilitator. So I'll be coaching. It's new for me. So excited for the opportunity. Honored, really, to be able to go in and work with teachers and students of all different ages, working in all different subject matter and tying things together and bringing teachers together.
It's really cool because you're connecting teachers, your updates, your ideas, how people can get involved. You share all these things together, and you are, not only did you find a community, but I feel like you're really building on top of it. I imagine that kind of problem solving, creativity, and sharing will be really helpful in that wide versed category of instructional facilitating from K through 12. So that's very, very exciting. I see that you were born, when I go to your Google Sites, Fresh from the Fourth, and that you were born and raised in Central California. My co-host is from Atascadero, so I feel like you guys probably have maybe some people not too far off in common.
Maybe. Okay, so I'm from a small town called Coarsegold.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like his small town of Creston. I got to imagine there's similar communities here.
So, very foothill area.
Mm-hmm.
It's about an hour and a half south of the south entrance of Yosemite National Park.
Very, very cool. And how did you get to Wyoming? Was that when you became a teacher, during?
After I went to college at Fresno Pacific University, and I got my single subject and multiple subject credential when I was there. And the economy was really, really struggling. And we just decided, well, maybe it would be a good time to just explore. I have family in Billings, and we loved it in this area, and just ended up in Wyoming, and it's been great. It's a great community that I live in. It's great for my kids, and my district has really supported me in the endeavors that I want to pursue. It's hard to find a district that will support teachers in that way. So
that's really nice. I know that a lot of teachers, when we talk about that burnout factor that can come in, can feel like they're being constricted or confined. And so you've found a place that will encourage that freedom and your ways of, I guess, your vision for what you have. And could you describe to me, like, what is kind of your vision for the ways that you want to help in your new position? Some of the things that you're hoping you'll be able to do and impart?
I'm amongst my colleagues, I'm pretty progressive minded, but I'm also pretty sound in research too. Like, I just don't want to grab what is the newest thing. I want to make sure that if I'm grabbing the newest thing, that there is some sort of research or best practices behind it. I'm really into starting to weave subject or content areas together.
That's good. I like the idea of like connecting content areas. Like, I teach history, but when there's a specific scientist or writer or author that we're coming across, why not take like a side diversion and learn about multiple areas at the same time? I know it's not exactly the same as like finding common assessments, but the skills do transfer. Like, I want my students to be great writers, so they journal every morning at the beginning of class. And I want them to be able to communicate verbally. So even though it's not a debate class, we're going to work in debate. So I like the idea of like cross-curricular involved. When you were in the classroom in fourth grade, what was your why for teaching? Like, what was your motivating factor that really got you excited about going into a classroom each day?
Always wanted to be, always. I've had great teachers. And I've had some where I don't remember much from it.
I get that.
I wanted to bring memorable learning experiences to the classroom. That is my why. These kiddos will one day be my doctor, one day be the scientists, the musicians. Man, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of their journey and help them grow. That is my why.
That's really great. No, I love that. I think a lot of the times we forget that we're the only profession that's preparing every future profession. So I heard a little bit of that in your response. One of the chapters that I wrote in A Broadcaster's Secrets to Teaching that's online now, kind of localizing your show, and another chapter is giving gifts to your audience. Like, that's great. I know, like, I feel what you're saying, every year feels new. This was my first year teaching high school, and I was so worried about them challenging me or overthrowing me or overtaking me. So I was very conscious of, I'm just going to put myself out there, be totally vulnerable, and hope that they see that as like a genuine connection, and then they won't want to act up because I've been honest and nice and pleasant. And it worked out great. We had no disciplinary issues, no problems at all. It was wonderful. If a student has left your room after these past 7 years, what's something you hope they would have learned from you besides the course materials that you were teaching in your fourth grade curriculum? Like, what's something you hope that they've developed by the time that they left?
That's a fantastic question. I would like them to leave my classroom with not just content, but skill. How to collaborate. How to say, oh man, I remember in Mrs. Alvarez's class, we sat together and we problem solved. And remember how hard that was? But we got through it. Mm-hmm. I want them to learn things like perseverance, just the skills that you need to be a life.
Yeah.
You know,
Stellar.
No matter what field they go in, whether it's, it doesn't matter what field, you've got to keep yourself growing. You got to keep yourself in rookie mode. I feel like that's kind of what I call it. One time, my second year, a teacher called me a rookie. And I was like, man, I hope I get over that. Like, I hope I don't always feel this way. But now 7 years in, I hope I never lose that.
No, sure. Yeah.
Because I feel like, when I start to feel experienced, that's when I really start to evaluate my practices. When I start to get comfortable, because I want to be taking risk and I want to be trying new things and innovating, just stepping outside the box. I want my students to do that. I want my students to have that same relentless pursuit of excellence.
Fantastic.
Where, yeah, whatever profession or career they choose to go in.
I love it, because we don't want to lose our energy and our flexibility just because we've been established somewhere, right? That will enable us to keep innovating and like future proof as well, to still be doing the best things and evaluating them along the way. Katie Alvarez, so glad that you would join us today on Inspiring Teachers. Let people know where they can find you and where they can interact with you as well.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And if you're listening out there, thank you so much for taking the time to listen. You can find me at Twitter and Instagram at Fresh from the Fourth with a 4th at the end. If you have any questions, please, I'm an open book. Direct message me, get a hold of me in any way. But I love to talk education. It's my passion. Watching students learn is my passion. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be able to chat with y'all and chat with you, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Anytime. And if we can ever help you in any way and promote anything that you're doing, we're happy to do it here on the show. So thank you so much. For Katie Alvarez, for Tavis Beam, who couldn't make it today, I'm Danny Hogger saying thank you so much for joining us on Inspiring Teachers and doing what you do every day. And until next time, thank you for watching this episode of Inspiring Teachers. Don't forget, A Broadcaster's Secrets to Teaching is available now on Kindle and ampeduplearning.com. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.